welcome our virtual water cooler friends to the 34th episode of Into the Filmverse. If you feel like I just repeated that from last episode, you're right, because last episode was actually the 33rd episode. So what is Into the Filmverse, you ask? Well, that's a great question. It's a movie fan podcast covering all types of film content, including movie news, new releases, and a variety of past releases. I'm Mytchel Chandler.
And I'm Bryce Payne.
And today we are discussing a slew of movie news, Gone Girl, and our top 10 most anticipated films of 2021 that are remaining this year. Hey, and I know we talk about a lot of movies on the podcast, so if you want to hear our reviews for the films we talk about, or even some that we don't bring up, then join us on Letterboxd. Basically, it's a social platform for movie reviews. You can find me, Mytchel Chandler, at Mytch Reviews, and Mytch is spelled with a Y, so that's Mytch.
You can find me, Bryce Payne, at Payne Reviews, Payne Reviews.
So before we dive into our weekly movie watches, we're going to go off the top to discuss some recent movie news and some fun stuff. So we love our Marvel. So Thor: Love and Thunder just announced that they finished filming as of a few days ago.
You know, I always think that when they say they're finished filming, I don't know why, but in my mind, I'm always like, yeah, the crew's just staying around just in case they do some reshoots or something. Like they're just
Well, I mean, it's not entirely wrong. I mean, I know. So at least from what I learned is that they actually plan for reshoots. Like every single film ever actually has a week or two of reshoots already planned into their budget pre. So like whenever you hear about reshoots, you're like, there always are reshoots for films.
But I just think like, I don't know, this is dumb, but I'm like, every single time I hear a movie's done, I'm like, so they're just like chilling for like a couple months while it's editing, just in case they're like, oh shit, we need to film something real quick.
And pretty much, yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's just getting into the editing process. It'll be ready in the oven for next year.
All the Marvel movies getting
Fresh
done
Marvel
filming,
pie.
and then like, they're just gonna be like, coming out in 2025.
Oh my god.
I was like,
You know, we'll see Black Widow, and then as soon as we see Black Widow, it's just gonna go bop, and we're going right back into
they're
it.
like Fantastic Four trailer. You're like, bro, what the hell?
We haven't got a Spider-Man one yet, man. So that is exciting. Thor: Love and Thunder. I think we got that announcement through. I want to say it was either I guess it was Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth himself. He like shared a picture of him and Taika Waititi, and Taika Waititi dressed up as Korg. Because, you know, he plays that character, so it's pretty cool.
I'm pretty excited for this movie. I'm just like, I need Black Widow to come out so I can get like the full hype back.
Yeah, I agree.
See a Marvel movie in theaters and be like, we back, baby. Let's go.
Exactly. I'm going to get the hype going. Speaking of hype, and probably something that nobody would think is going to be real, but that Indiana Jones 5 with Harrison Ford, this dude's almost pushing 80. I'm like, bro. And he's making a fifth Indiana Jones film.
You know what's even crazier is Bethesda's making a video game by Indiana Jones 2.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. But see, and so the news about this is that it actually starts filming next week. This announcement came out of nowhere. I mean, we knew it was happening and it was in development, but just the fact that it starts filming next week is just like, oh, shit.
I wonder how much, like, I know Indiana Jones is like a big franchise, but
Right.
like, I wonder how financially successful they think this movie's going to be. Because I feel like Indiana Jones has kind of died off in recent years, especially with Crystal Skull bombing.
You know, it all depends on. I mean, Indiana Jones obviously big. I mean, you say that to anybody, everybody knows who you're talking about, right? So
yeah, but I'm just wondering how much hype there actually will be for this.
right. No, that's my main point. So like the fact that there is brand recognition, right? So I feel like that's gonna get a lot of people to go out to the theater just by in and of itself. So really, the ultimate thing comes to me is how much they make this movie for. Because if they're making, because like Cruella, like I don't know if we didn't talk about that last time, but Cruella cost $200 million to make.
About average for a blockbuster kind of thing.
Not for that type of. I mean, that's like Avengers level money.
Yeah, but I don't, it's Disney, so I just expect them to throw money all their
Right.
big movies.
No,
but they're like we can afford it.
Like we can take the loss. No, but that's not going to make it anywhere near its budget back. Is pretty much what they're saying. It's not going to become in the realm of money making. Yeah. But that being said, if they can keep the budget down for Indiana Jones to relative, then I think they should. I mean, they should be able to make their money back. It's not going to be like $800 million film. I doubt.
It's definitely not going to be a movie.
I can
where
see
I'm
this.
like, it's not going to be one of those movies where I'm like, yeah, Indiana Jones, let's
Right,
go. It's
exactly.
going to be like when it gets released in physical, or if there's no other movies in theaters, I'll go swing and see it.
I don't know. I mean, it's Indiana Jones. I don't give a fuck what's going on. It's like, to me, this is like top tier. Like, you don't miss this like type of thing. Like if Star Wars came into the film, Indiana Jones is like, I mean, even though I haven't seen other ones in forever, I mean, it's Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones. I feel like if you don't go see it, then like, it's like part of pop culture.
I don't know. I'm viewing it more like I have to wait till I see trailers and see
Sure,
more about.
yeah.
I can't just be like, it's Indiana Jones. Like, oh my god. I'm like,
I'm not saying, oh my god. I'm not like
I'm
excited.
weary about it.
I'm just gonna say it's Indiana Jones. So whatever they put out, I'm gonna go see it.
I'm like hesitating towards it. I'm like, let's just be really slow.
Kind of if
this.
they announce like another Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Like if they announce one of those, like I'm there. I don't even care what they have to say. Like I don't care what it's about. If it looks terrible, I'm probably gonna be there.
Yeah, and after Deadman Tells No Tales, I'm like really hesitant about that series too.
Or like if they put out like I don't know anything that's not Fast and the Furious, like you just hear that brand recognition, like you just know what it is. I'm like I'm there. I don't know whether that's gonna be good, but I'll judge its own merits. But
You're not excited for Fast 9?
man, I cannot wait to talk about that NDAs. NDAs for a little bit, guys. We'll get there at some point. So those are the two main stories. I know we talked about most of this. We had a late show last week, so we talked about a lot of the movie news in the last show. So and a lot of trailers we got to talk about last time too. So be sure to check that out. However, so the movie news is a little bit slow this time, so we figured we'd go into our top 10 most anticipated films. Since I put a lot of the Marvel films on my list, Bryce decided to have his own put some other films that weren't quite Marvel films, so we could get a little bit more plethora of films to be able to talk about.
I mean, they're still pretty big budget movies.
Right? No, exactly, and it'll give us a little bit more to talk about. So obviously, we're excited for the Marvel films. I went the more traditional route.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't want us both to be like, Spider-Man, yeah, Spider-Man.
No, it totally would be like that. So, I mean, it'll give us some cool times to talk about some other films that we want to see. So I'll go through my list, and then I'll have you go through your list. Or actually, no, yeah, let's do that. I'll go through my list, and then I'll go through your list. Some of them might be the same, but we'll just talk about them individually.
Okay.
So, so on my top 10, this is in order of what I'm most excited about to least.
Oh, I didn't order mine.
This is what I'm least excited about to most excited about on my top 10 list.
I just made a list. I didn't order them. I can do that real quick. Hold up. I'll do it while you're talking about it.
Okay, it's not a big deal if it's not.
No, it's okay. It'll take me like 3 seconds. I just got them sliders around.
So on number 10, coming in right under the wire there is Space Jam 2. I know me and you, Bryce, got a chance to see Space Jam for the first time. You had never seen it before, right?
No.
Yeah. And this is a film that I watched as a kid. It definitely does not hold up to its grandeur of what I remembered as being a kid. However, that being said, it's still Space Jam. Like I don't know, something about Looney Tunes and something about cartoons and live action mixing just really does it for me. I'm like, I just love that dynamic, especially when you're playing like basketball out of all things. It just cracks me up. And with like a major star, it's all just a bunch of like toy marketing and all that, but it just seems like so much fun.
Honestly, I'm just more interested to be like, why the hell are the guys from Clockwork Orange in this movie?
Oh my gosh, right? Oh yeah, because that was the thing about this,
or
especially
like,
why
the Mask or Pennywise. I'm like, this just feels so out of place.
Exactly. I don't know if you guys have a chance to see the trailer, but in Space Jam, the trailer, it had a very much of Ready Player One vibe, where they they went into the internet. Don Cheadle, which I love, he was the main, like the internet. He's
like
basically.
The villain, basically. And the vibe I got is he's like a villain.
Kind of seemed like that to me, yeah. And then you just got like all of Warner Brothers' entire library just like in the background somewhere.
They're like, they were in the pitch meeting. They're like, you know that movie Ready Player One, how it was like really successful for video game things? Like, we have a plethora of characters we have.
Let's do it again. Yeah, so I'm super excited about that. That'll be cool to see. And then coming in at number 9 is Dune. So obviously a sci-fi epic with Timothée Chalamet, your favorite guy there.
I still haven't seen a trailer for this.
I keep saying, you really haven't seen the trailer?
I haven't seen the trailer.
I think Zendaya is in it as well. I think even Dave Bautista, I want to say, is in it.
I can check real quick. Hold up.
So obviously I have really no experience with Dune.
You're right.
Okay, sweet.
Dave Bautista and Zendaya.
Yeah. So I have like really, and then
and Oscar Isaac and Josh Brolin.
I was about to say there's a bunch of other big stars in there that I'm just not remembering off the top of my head, but there's some other ones. This is a film that don't have much experience with. I mean, because I know there's a previous one that came out, and that one was based off a book before, and that is like I know a lot of geeks and are very into that thing and Dune basically. And it's something I want to check out. Hopefully, maybe I'll like it and go back and check out the other stuff. Because otherwise, if this is not that great, I might not check out the other stuff. But
I know that
I wanted this to be my first
name?
experience.
It's David. I think David Lynch made the original.
David Lynch. That sounds familiar.
It might not be him. It might. God, it's either the guy who makes the gross films like Possessor. Like his father, I forgot. I'm like just basing it on names. Hold on. I'm gonna look it up because I'm like, I know it's either Sorry, I'm a mess. It is David Lynch. Yeah, David Lynch directed the 1884 Dune.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, but it is a big film that's coming out that I've been wanting to see, especially since last year we didn't get a chance to see it.
David Lynch is the guy who made that What Did Jack Do short film I made you watch.
Well, that wasn't a film; that was just smut. So, so 8. Coming in at number 8, we have the new James Bond film, No Time to Die. I haven't really been that invested in all the James Bond before. I've actually never seen a James Bond outside of Daniel Craig's films.
I've only seen Goldfinger outside Daniel Craig's films,
and that's mostly in part because just my age and when I started watching film and stuff like that. But
I own all of them.
Yeah, you definitely do. I
just need to watch them, but I'm like, that's a lot. It's like over 20 films.
There's
like,
a lot.
I don't have enough care in the spy genre to watch 20 films about the same dude, just different actors.
Yeah, no, I've heard that they're all pretty good, and I'm sure most of the time your favorite one is the one who you grow up with. You know, so most of the time.
I really like God. What's his name? He's the guy who played the first James Bond. He was in Goldfinger. I can't remember. I saw the movie like Sean Connery. Yeah,
oh, okay.
I like him. Pulled out
That's just the first one that I pulled out of my head.
You're right though. That's the first guy. I really liked him. He was really good. He was good in Goldfinger, and I've seen him in other films, and he's been pretty solid. I'm just like, I don't have the time to invest 2.5 hours in my life to watch 20 films that are 2.5 hours.
No, I mean that's definitely fair. I would not put that past anybody. But still, that one I'm excited for. Billie Eilish is doing the open credit scene for. I like Billie Eilish.
Oh, for sure. You know what's gonna happen next year at the Oscars?
Huh?
She's gonna that song's gonna win best song. Watch.
I mean,
it seems pretty typical that the James Bond song usually gets recognized pretty heavily at the Oscars.
Yeah, you've heard it though, right?
I don't listen to Billie Eilish.
I mean,
it's
all right.
Good thing your sister's in here because she probably likes go.
She will, yeah, exactly. So then coming in at number 7, I have the new Ghostbusters soft reboot sequel.
This looks good.
Ghostbusters Afterlife. I'm just a huge fan of Ghostbusters. I mean, I used to watch film a lot when I was a kid. So
I haven't seen Ghostbusters 2 or the Ghostbusters after. Not this is after the Ghostbusters reboot. The one that everyone hated.
The female one.
Yeah.
Man, I hate
the gender swap version.
Yeah, I mean, my issue is it was never that they gender swapped the characters. It was just that they just botched, like, the comedy was not that funny. I mean, and then the gender swap, it was like that was their key focus rather than just like, you know, like, I don't mind you making a gender swap thing, but just don't
have a good story at least.
Yeah, have a good story. Like, oh, we're different because we're females. I'm like, okay, like, I get it, but
it's like one of those things where you like look at Bill Murray and you're like, you're funny, and then you look at them and you're like, but you're not.
I mean, there definitely were some good jokes in there or anything, and Kate McKinnon, I just absolutely adore. So whenever she's anything,
short-haired one.
Yeah, short blonde hair.
Yeah. See, that's how I recognize. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's a short-haired one because I thought she was cute.
Yeah,
so.
Kate McKinnon. I'm like, she pulls my heartstrings. So whenever she's in anything, I still have a good time. But yeah, no. This one is an actual proper sequel. It seems like it's taking itself a little bit more seriously. So that's why, and it's focusing a little bit more on younger generation with those kid from Stranger Things, which I think he's cool.
Yeah, but you also in it.
That's his name. But you noticed that he's been in a lot lately. So.
Yeah, we talked about that the last podcast episode because I was like, he's in everything now.
He is though.
He's a good actor though, so like I don't hate it. I'm just like,
yeah,
but showing up in everything I want to watch. Like, stop.
Like, you need to chill, bro. So Ghostbusters Afterlife, I'm pretty excited for that. I mean, I saw that trailer that came out with like little mini puffs. Man, they're so cute. I'm so excited.
Paul Rudd, like, sign me
oh
up.
yeah,
sign me up.
Exactly. Paul Rudd in a Ghostbusters film. That just sounds perfect.
I bet that's like a dream come true for him. Like he's just.
I bet so
he's
too.
Just like sitting there,
he's geeking out.
He like. You want to be in this movie? What is it? Oh my God! Sign me up. You're not even gonna read it? No, I'm just Ghostbusters.
He's like, I almost don't even want money. No, I'm not sure if he's that much of a fan of Ghostbusters, but still,
it's gonna be Brad Pitt doing the Deadpool cameo. It's like, just pay me coffee.
Oh right, exactly. He did do that, didn't he? So yeah, that's coming in at number 7, and coming in at number 6, I have Halloween Kills.
Oh, this one should be good too. There was a trailer that, it wasn't a trailer. It was like a picture they released where it showed like Michael Myers with like the half-burned mask and shit. I am totally buying that mask.
So, you know me, and we've talked about this at length multiple times, but I'm not a big horror guy. Like, I mean, I like when there's a good horror film, but otherwise it's just like, I don't know. Most of it's just like B-rate stuff to me. Like a lot of what I've seen is not that good.
There's a very select few that I've like placed on like an A-list spectrum. Otherwise, I'm just like,
The reason
they're good, but they're not like A-list films.
Exactly.
Like,
And the reason I think I attribute that to is because a lot of times when people say make your first film, or it's often a horror film. Like when you make a film, it's either you choose between a horror film or a comedy.
those are both the easiest yet hardest genres to make.
So it's like easy because it allows you to like explore a little bit, but at the same time, to make a good one, it's super hard. So
Yeah, it's.
I mean,
like,
to make a good film in general is hard. But
When I was in my film classes, that's one of the things they told us. Is like anyone can make a comedy and horror movie, but not everyone can make it good.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and so that's why, the first or the sequel to the Halloween, I guess the Halloween that came out in 2018. I love that film. It was so much fun.
That movie was really good. It like
I was like scared and like jumpy, but also like badass at the same time. And I'm like, this is amazing. I was it was weird because I was rooting as much for Michael Myers as I was for
Laurie Strode.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, that's one of the. I've seen all the Halloween films, right? Except
Right.
for Halloween 3 because Michael Myers isn't in it, so I just never watched it.
Right.
But no, when Halloween was like coming out, I was like, I gotta watch it. Like it looks good. Like it looks amazing.
Exactly.
And I was like, this is the best reboot of a horror franchise that has
It
happened.
was really good.
At least of the, like the 80s horror icons. Right. This is the best one.
Honestly, it's one of the best horror films I've seen in like a while. I mean, what you're looking to me? Like,
other
I have
than
John Krasinski's right. Jordan Peele's.
Jordan Peele's. Whenever he makes a horror movie, I'm like, I'm there. There's no risk if he's making it. I'm like, you know what you're doing.
He let me down a little bit with Us. I wasn't a huge fan of that one. It was good, but it was. When I say it was good, I liked it. But at the same time, I feel like the follow through on the end, the twist on the ending was kind of like.
I guess
lame.
The twist halfway through the film, just because I was like, what if? And Jay's like, no, and I was like, oh shit, I'm right.
Get Out was really good. I like that film. But anyways, we're not talking about Jordan Peele. Halloween Kills. Super excited for that one. Coming in number 6, and number 5. Now we're getting into the Marvel films. I have Eternals on my list. So we just talked about the Eternals trailer that came out the other day. Obviously, I'm ridiculously excited for anything that's Marvel. However, this trailer was just kind of like, I don't know. It seemed very plain Jane, if I could say that.
But it was gorgeous.
It was gorgeous. But as far as plain Jane, it just means story wise.
It literally didn't show anything
action,
about the film.
There was barely any dialogue. It was just kind of like, hey, we have this coming, and just like look at it. Just look at it. Like Ed Bassmaster kind of like, just look at it.
They're like, it's pretty. You're gonna watch Marvel. We don't have to show you anything.
Exactly. And with Chloe Zhao coming out for 2021 Oscar win, it was pretty cool to see her. I mean, to see her doing this film, so especially the people that are talking about like this might be the best Marvel film that they've ever made. They might even be like Oscar worthy.
I really hope it is, because like only one Marvel movie's been nominated for Best Picture, and that was Black Panther.
Right, and yeah. So I really think that this one. I mean, this could be something special, but we just haven't seen much of it yet. So that's why on all this stuff, even though it's a Marvel film, but still I haven't seen much. That's why I said number 5. Coming in at number 4, this film we have coming out in a month. That will be Black Widow.
I'm so hyped for this just for the fact that like it signifies Marvel's return. As
Honestly,
much as like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier were like they're there, but they weren't there to be like they were like easing us back.
Yeah, that was like crumbs, and then this is like the explosion.
This is like the taste test. They're like, look what you're gonna be getting.
Exactly. It just feels like we're starting to get back into it. But you know what? It doesn't even signify the return of Marvel. To me, this almost signifies the return of movies, the return of everything going back to a little bit normal.
Yeah, because like my time used to go by so fast for me, because like one more movie would come out a month, and then I'd be like, all right, next month let's go, and then that
it's like a month or two later, and another Marvel movie coming out. Well, that's kind of how I block my time.
Back when Fox had like Marvel movies too,
oh, yeah.
like it was like a Marvel movie every single month.
You're right.
So every month I was like, let's go, and then I would talk about that movie for a month, and the next one come out, I'd be like, yeah, this one just came out, let's talk about it. And now now it's like, well, we've had his New Mutants.
So you're right though. It's been that's not that great. But Black Widow, like I not a huge fan. I mean, the Scarlett Johansson's awesome, and like throughout the movie, it's like I almost like this film is a little bit too late, honestly, because like
you're like your story's
the
done.
fact that she died, right, and then they're like, okay, but here's a movie for her. Like, okay, but you should have had this way before, especially
this should have been like fuck Captain Marvel. You could have just had this. Like,
Honestly, though, I really think that's a great idea because Captain Marvel did not matter to the story whatsoever.
it did. She affected Endgame in the slightest bit. But
Right,
like
but
Black Widow's
I feel like-
sacrifice, this would have built up her sacrifice
Yes.
being even more devastating.
But then again, Kevin Feige did say that there is something in this that alters the perception of the rest of the MCU. So I'm hoping
it's like
not
a big twist.
yeah,
Like
it's a twist.
Taskmaster is now like leading. I'm sure it's gonna have something to do with Taskmaster, especially since we don't know what he looks like.
That would be interesting, yeah. So, that I'm super excited about. Obviously, now that we're finally getting this as Black Widow, I'm a character I've loved. Even though I feel it's a little bit too late, but really the big thing is that it signifies to me like the return of movies and the return of Marvel, and like we're getting back into things.
I'm so hyped. I'm just ready to have more things to add to my Marvel collection. So, because like I used to get so hyped every like 3 months, I'd be like, yeah, another addition to the collection.
To the collection. And number 3. We have my boy Simu Liu, which he's the one of the main guys in Kim's Convenience. I know you haven't talked about you haven't seen the show, but this show Kim's Convenience focuses on like a Canadian Korean family. Korean. And they're super awesome, super hilarious show. But Simu Liu, one of the main guys from that, is playing Shang-Chi in the Shang-Chi Legend of the Ten Rings, and so I have that at number 3.
I'm excited to see how this like. Because the 10 Rings are the people that took Tony Stark and Iron Man.
Right.
And I want to see like how this connects to Iron Man's story. Because you know what's going to. It has the 10 Rings.
But here's the thing about that. Is that
at least mention it.
It could be possible, but then they could also just totally gloss over that because at that time they hadn't established this or even thought about this probably. So like at that time they were just using it to reference to him, and then they even proved it like in Iron Man 3 that the Mandarin was just like...
Yeah, but then there's that one shot that they did where the Mandarin visits the guy in prison, Kingsley. Or not Kingsley, it was Hammer. He visits him and not Hammer.
Like actual Mandarin, like maybe that was gonna be in this show.
There's like a guy that shows up and says like the Mandarin wants to talk to you about stealing his identity.
Right. I mean, okay. The only reason I maybe question that is because it was a one shot and not like in the public eye. And if you bring out that, like the majority of people, they're not gonna check him out. So I mean, I'm like, it could connect.
It was a way for them to like retcon the fact that like, yo, the Mandarin's still out there. He's an actual person.
Exactly. But yeah, no, definitely possible. I mean, that'd be interesting to see. And they're actually the reason it was so obviously Simu Liu is what I love that. I love that actor, and I'm excited to see him in this. But there was another reason that I put this above Black Widow. Awkwafina is in this movie, and I had no idea. I love Awkwafina. Like anything she's in, I'm just like, please, like, give me that now. She's hilarious from Farewell, which is just like emotionally like devastating roller coaster. Like, I love that film.
And then Rey the Last Dragon, where she was hilarious.
She had like great, as a dragon. And then I think I've seen other things as well. I just forget off the top of my head. Oh, Crazy Rich Asians. She was really great in that.
Haven't seen that one.
And then but she's just a great. Oh, she was also in Jungle Book, not the Jungle Book. What's the one with the jungle? Into the Jungle. It's a Jumanji. She was in Jumanji. I was trying to think of Into the Jungle.
Into the Jungle.
Yeah, she was in Jumanji, the second Jumanji, and she was amazing in that. And so on, and I'm just like everything she's in. I'm like, please just give me more of her. So I'm super excited for that, and that's why I have that in at the number 3. Number 2, actually not a Marvel film, but it is by a Marvel guy. So James Gunn, obviously, there was a big fiasco with him leaving Marvel. I
wrote an essay on that, and I got like an A+ on it. Like I got 100% because the guy was like, "You're spitting facts." I was like, he's like
movie news. I know. I'm talking
he was like, you need to write an essay about like a situation or something like that. And so I was like, oh bitch, I got this, because it was right after James Gunn got fired, and I was pissed.
Right.
So I wrote an essay about this, and I got like the highest grade in the class. And like I got it back, and I had all these things about like how like my points were really right, and I was like, yeah, because it's bullshit.
so if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, back a while, I want to say a few years ago. I don't know. It's been a minute.
It was like 3 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Disney. So some old tweets came up from James Gunn, and some people got mad about that were like years old. Disney found
it was like 10 years old.
Yeah, they were old, really old. He had already publicly apologized prior to this, and like said that's not him. And Disney found out, like, heard somehow that he had the tweets, and they just immediately fired him.
I was so mad about this because all I could think about was like, why did they should have known about this before they hired him.
No, I know, it was just this is definitely egg on Disney's face. They just did like a straight up response thing. It was probably the president that did it.
It's such bullshit. I was so mad.
So at that point, literally every single Hollywood studio was lining up to get James Gunn inside, because they were like, okay, we understand what happened there, we don't care. And DC approached him and said, literally, they said, whatever property you want to do, you can do it. Like whatever you want to do. You can do it. And so they would even let him do Superman at a time when they like had no plans for Superman, because I think that was part of their discussion is he was thinking about doing Superman. But
then, I mean, he did Brightburn, which is kind of an horror answer to Superman. He produced that at least.
So instead, he chose to do the film that's coming up this year called Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. Don't confuse it with the shitty one.
Right. The Suicide Squad, which honestly I think is just a weird, like, it's just weird for me to see a film that doing a reboot of it so soon compared to, it's just, for some reason when I saw that they're doing another Suicide Squad film, even if it was James Gunn, like, you really trying to do this again?
The thing is, I was looking at, like, it's it's like a soft reboot, but it's really not. It's like a sequel.
Oh, you're right, because technically Harley Quinn is right. I mean,
they were trying to get Will Smith to come back, and Will Smith was like, no.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't want him to come back if I was him either.
I think he was going to, but he had other commitments.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
And so they got Idris Elba.
But this film looks bonkers crazy, bonkers fun. And honestly, what I've heard, I don't know where I've heard this from, but basically, I think he said it a few times, or he went said it, but basically no one's safe. There's going to be a ton of people die by the end of this film.
100% Pete Davidson's going to die.
As long as my boy King Shark doesn't die, because that boy is cute is like...
I kind of hate the fact that they were like, you can kill anyone, and I'm like, Harley Quinn's there, and I'm like, don't kill her. Like, she just had a really good movie come out. Like, let her have a sequel. Like, I need to see her in her own standalone shit more.
They're not going to kill her. We know that.
How funny it would be if they do, though.
I would give like major props to James Gunn if he did, because there's no way they would, but like if I did, I like that. That's to me is like promising young woman status right there.
He's just like, they think I won't, but I am.
Fucking iron balls like that. Like I would be like, you have iron balls, sir.
Studio gets the final like script, and they're like, yo, is this a mistake? Like,
if he kills Harley Quinn, I'm like, I mean, I was already going to at this point because of Guardians of the Galaxy, and fucking what else did he do? He did Slither, right?
He did Slither, yes.
That was good. But even after Guardians of the Galaxy, the second one, I'm like, here, you take my money. But if he killed Harley Quinn, whatever film he did, I'd be like, I'm going to support you, because like you did the most ballsy thing you could ever do in film. You killed Harley Quinn.
You're like, everyone liked her after Birds of Prey, and then you were like, I'm going to get rid of her. And Studio's just like, but are you sure? He's like, you said I could do it. I mean,
yeah. And then coming around number one, this is probably no surprise for anybody who knows me. My main favorite superhero, Spider-Man No Way Home.
You got rickrolled with a trailer today.
Yeah, I did. I was man, I should have too. I could just tell because it wasn't even from a major. But anyways, I was scrolling down Facebook, and then I saw Spider-Man No Way Home trailer official. It looked like a different image I hadn't seen before.
And Tom you didn't even like look. I bet you didn't even look at who posted it. You were just oh shit, click.
No, I did. I just took the chance, and then I got rickrolled.
Man, I saw this trailer today. I was like on YouTube, and I was like, fuck it. Maybe there's like a leak, because apparently some theaters have gotten the trailer already. All the rumors, and it was like leaked trailer, and I was like, well, maybe. And it was straight up just a splice of all the Spider-Man franchises thrown together, and I was like, this guy really like made this fake fan-made trailer and used his phone to film it from his computer to make it look like he was in a theater.
Yeah,
with shitty quality.
That's
and I was like,
excessive.
It's like this dude went out of his way to fuck with people.
That's a major dick.
And Jada was sitting there. She's like, "Is that the trailer?" And I was like, maybe like 30 seconds in. And I was like, "No, it's a fan made." Because like straight up, it was like Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin scene where he's like talking to Spider-Man on the roof.
Right.
I was like, bro, like, obviously this is fake.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, there's so much things like a theorized talk about with Spider-Man No Way Home. Clearly, I wish it was we know there's gonna be some sort of multiverse involved. I hope Toby and Andrew show up.
I hope that in the trailer, like the final scene in the trailer, just has like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man swing on a roof.
Okay, here's my biggest argument, and it could be a terrible argument, but here's my biggest argument on why I think that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in this film. So. Okay, so you have Alfred Molina, right? Alfred Molina is our Dr. Octopus from Tobey Maguire's film.
Yes.
And then you have he's confirmed to be in it. Alfred Molina has actually said that he's in it. And then you also
worst kept secret in Hollywood.
That's exactly what he said. And then you have Jamie Foxx as Electro coming back from Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is which is Andrew's Spider-Man, right?
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, so there's that evidence right there to just extrapolate that we're going to see Toby and Andrew in it,
well, necessarily, it doesn't mean that they're coming back.
No, it doesn't.
They're villains.
However, now this is my biggest theory of why I think they're going to be in it, is because normally, well, at least from the past of what I've seen, a lot of times, like when there's rumors and news and whatever, people are just theorizing whatever. Normally, studios don't care because like I don't care what you talk about. Or you're giving us good press or whatever. However, there are a few instances I've seen in the past where like somebody says something like it breaks a story, and then the studio exec will come out and say that's not true, because I feel like because they know when to set expectations with their people, because some people will get like out of like what we're doing now with Toby and Andrew. We've talked about it so much that I feel like we already believe it. Like so I feel like there's so many people out there that are like, no, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen, and if they don't happen, it's gonna be disappointing. And I mean, this could just be setting up myself up for failure. So I have to realize that nobody's actually confirmed it. So I'm not expecting to see them in the film. However, the fact that like we've talked about this so much and it's been on so many sites, we've talked about it like constantly for like over a year, and now basically ever since Jamie Foxx got approved as he came out and said he's Electro. And then not only that, but then like we've asked Andrew Garfield, people have asked Andrew Garfield, people have asked Tobey Maguire. It's just like.
And all they said
there has to be something to this.
And all they said was, I haven't gotten the call. And it's like, well, you have managers. You have other people.
Exactly. Exactly. And my whole thing is, because he never, and that was another thing, Andrew Garfield was asked directly about it. He's like, man, I can't say, I can't say anything. I mean, he didn't say I can't say anything. He basically said, look, this is a tough position because I want a piece of fans. I'm like, I want to do this, but I never got a call. And I was like, I'm not saying I'm not. He's like, I don't know. They could do something. I don't know. But I'm not. I'm like, bro, you would say you're not in the movie if you're not in the movie, Like that was not a straight up answer.
There's no going around it and being like, well, no. It's like, hey, are you in this movie? No.
Yeah, it's that easy to say no. But here's the thing: if he says no, well, then if he says like straight up no, I'm not in this film, right? Then it come around, he is in the film. Well, then every time anybody talks to him in the fan, they're not going to believe him.
Yeah, because they're gonna be like,
so you can't lie.
Lied to us.
You can't lie. So you're as an actor in interviews, you're in a tough position because you can't like lie, but you also can't say yes sometimes.
NDAs.
Yeah, so that's why he's like he's very good at working around and like I could just see he was flustered when he was asking that question. That's why I'm like, man, he has to because I don't know, there has to be something. They gotta know
something.
Yeah. And then obviously I don't think anybody's really talking to Toby.
Honestly, if I was like Andrew Garfield and I even heard the rumor like, oh, they might be in there, I'd be like, deep, 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 deep. Hey Sony, you heard all this shit. Can I be in the movie?
I think there was also right, no, exactly. And then I heard there were some rumors about Emma Stone coming back as Gwen Stacy, and
I think she just declined those rumors.
Though. No, I was going to say that, and then even Kristen Dunst coming back as MJ, and the way Emma Stone talking about it, she's like, I think she said she's probably not going to be in it, but I mean that's more reasonable to me than
like Emma Stone died in Amazing Spider-Man 2, but I'm also like,
but if they came back
Alfred
and Electro,
Molina died,
yeah, exactly. So. Who knows? We'll see. I mean, we're very close. We'll see.
There's got to be a trailer within like the next 2 months.
So that was my top 10 most anticipated films of 2021. Bryce, we'll start going through yours here. What kind of films are you looking at this year that you want to see?
These are the same as you, least to most excited.
Okay.
Number 10, Nightmare Alley. Mainly because Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, I keep forgetting what this is you saw the French film,
the 1947 original one.
Okay,
it was like American release, and it just like really, you could feel like the tense and suspense, and like I could feel Guillermo del Toro being like, I could do some stuff with this.
See, I saw. I mean, I know Guillermo del Toro did Hellboy, so like anything after that.
Yeah, he did Hellboy, Shape of Water, Pan's Labyrinth, Devil's Backbone.
I like how some of his more popular films, I'm like, he did Hellboy. And that's how I'm a nerd.
But no, I know nothing about his because like, there's really been nothing shown about it. I'm just excited because I saw the original and like Guillermo del Toro knows what he's doing. So I'm like, I'm excited, but I'm not overly excited. So 10.
Yeah, that's fair.
And at number 9 is Jungle Cruise because it looks fun.
Really? Jungle Cruise is the one? Okay, I keep thinking your top 10, but I mean, obviously top 10, not including Marvel.
Not including Marvel or any other superhero film.
Honestly, Jungle Cruise, I'm very...
I thought the trailer was fun, so I was like, I'm excited for this. I don't know. It looks like my kind of movie.
I'm like timidly excited because I saw the trailer and I was like, okay, I like The Rock. I like Emily Blunt. It looks intriguing, but it has like the entire film movie has very much of like a journey to the center of the earth feel.
I know. I just like I said last podcast. I just like movies with their jungle in a boat. Like
you did say that. That's fair. That's fair.
And I mean, that was the thing. I didn't put any superhero movies on, so I was like looking at the thing and being like, yeah, I'm excited for Jungle Cruise. Like,
okay, that's fair. Yeah.
And a number was it 7?
I think you're right. 8.
8. Dune.
Hey, we were pretty close on where our ranking of Dune was.
Yeah, I was like, I'm excited for Dune, but I don't know anything about it, so I don't want to put it too high. But I think it's gonna be a fun ride.
No, it's exactly. I mean, that was my whole thing. I was like, it's a big influence on pop culture, and so I really think that it was going to be something like cool to watch.
It's gonna be a really cool.
I just know nothing about it.
I was like, it's gonna be a cool sci-fi film. I just don't know shit. So
I'm just cause the amount of people that like are more are older than us and have seen this and know about it. They talk high. Like my dad. Obviously, my dad has really weird, different tastes in films than maybe I do. But and then even my dad, or even I don't know if you've ever heard of Robert Meyer Burnett, but he's a guy that I watch, and he talks about Dune very highly.
Yeah, I'm just excited because I'm like, it just looks cool, but I don't know anything. And Timothée Chalamet, I love him as an actor, so I'm like, I want to see where this goes.
Exactly.
And the next one up is one that's coming out, I think, this month, In the Heights.
Yeah. See, I really, this is one of the ones that I wanted to put on my list, but I'm just like. There was nowhere else I could take off that I wanted to put in.
Straight up,
I'm not so amazing.
I'm not a musical person.
I'm not either.
So I was like looking at this.
To be so guard. I'm like, I'm not a musical person at all. But just the flavor that they have in this film, like the community, that main character guy, it just seems so like authentic.
Yeah, and then I think Jada and I saw they released like a new trailer last week or sometime. And Jada was watching it, and she wasn't excited for this at all. In this trailer, she's like, "Okay, yeah, it looks really good." And I was like, "It looks like a fun fucking movie."
Does.
Like, and I'm taking my little sister to see it because she loves Hamilton. This guy did Hamilton.
Oh, that's cool.
He also has a movie coming out. What is it called?
Have you seen Hamilton on Disney Plus?
No,
I haven't yet. And I've been telling I really need to see it. I know I need to. I just haven't changed.
I think he has a movie coming out called Vios or something like that. It's gonna be an animated film on Netflix.
Huh. Okay.
And that's supposed to be coming out within the next 2 months, apparently.
Odd, but I guess maybe I'll check it out.
But yeah, I mean, like the praise he got in Hamilton, and now he's doing In the Heights. I'm like, I don't know, it looks fun. I like it. The guy has some praise. Like,
here's the reason I don't like musicals is because, at least in the past and stuff like that. A lot of times the story is kind of like
it almost gets second.
Yeah,
to the
it's
music.
second to the music exactly, and then the music. I feel like half the time it's not even like that great. Like it's not catchy. You know, it's not something I can sing along with.
Speaking of music that I think is
in the
catchy,
Heights, like what's that?
My next one up is West Side Story by Steven Spielberg.
West Side Story. I couldn't tell you why I'm so excited for this film, but I am.
I saw the original, and like Skylar, you know Skylar. He doesn't like musicals. And
right.
So this whole movie he was bashing on. I actually sent him home after the movie. I was like, you gotta leave because I loved the movie. And him and Jada were just like, ugh. And I was like, it's so fucking good. Like,
see, and that's one I need to check. So there's sometimes I'll check out like their predecessors before I see a new one. Or, I might avoid seeing it. Yeah, I might avoid seeing it, whatever. But this is one that I probably will want to check out before I see the new one.
Dude, the first song where they had like the snapping and stuff, I was like, oh shit, yeah, this is good.
Like oh yeah, sorry, go ahead.
And like I really I'm so excited for this. And then like so West Side Story, the original one, they cast white people as the Filipino people.
No.
This one didn't do that.
Well,
Steven Spielberg
God.
actually
Jesus.
got Filipino actors and actresses to play those characters.
Good.
So I'm like, it's gonna be culturally appropriate. The music's gonna be like great, and they already released like some scenes. At the Oscars, they had the first trailer.
Oh, really?
And I was like, this looks so cool.
How did I not see that? Jeez.
I'm so excited just because I really like the original. This one looks really good, and it's culturally appropriate, and didn't whitewash people.
And you think it's Steven Spielberg, so I mean,
he's a hit or miss with me. I'm like, sometimes he's really good, and sometimes I'm like, why'd you touch this project? No.
I mean, I feel like there's nothing. You know what? He's done so much that's half the time I forget. You know,
he did Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and I didn't like that movie.
That.
Jada really liked it. I didn't like it, but she's a sci-fi person, and I'm not. So
no, I just misspelled his name completely. But whatever. Okay, so E.T. also on Schindler's List. I still haven't seen that. Jaws. I mean, it's classic. Jurassic
a lot of his
Park,
movies
classic.
that are like considered like great are from the from like the 90s though. So
West Side Story, obviously, we talked about that. Oh, that's what he's doing now. Raiders Lost Ark. Okay, dumb. Catch Me If You Can. Good. Saving Private Ryan. Amazing. Back to the Future. Amazing. What else we got?
I think it's his recent stuff that has me on edge about it because I'm like some of the stuff I'm like
Goonies. Good.
Did he do Dunkirk?
No, that was Nolan, I think.
No, that was Nolan. Yeah.
What else we got? Obviously, Judge Transform. Oh, it's not. He produced it.
Yeah. He produces a lot of films.
You know, I think he's actually made his career on putting his name on producing. Like,
100%. He made Schindler's List and Raiders of the Lost Ark and all that, and now he just puts his name on movies like produced by Steven Spielberg, and everyone's like,
exactly.
But no, I'm excited for West Side Story. It looks like a fun ride, and I'm just excited to see what they do with a remake after 60 years.
Well, that'd be fun to see.
This next one on my list actually comes out this week.
Oh, what's that?
Conjuring 3. The Devil Made Me Do It.
See, I'm going to have to lean on you for all this because I have not seen a single Conjuring film, and that goes back to my thing about not liking horror movies, or sorry. I don't not like horror films. I'm just saying not finding good horror films, and I never gave this one a chance.
The Conjuring franchise is one I'm like really, it's hard for me. Because like you have the base Conjuring series in it, right? Like Conjuring 1, 2, and now this one.
Right.
But then you have the Annabelle films.
And the Nun, right.
You have
Annabelle Comes Home, Annabelle.
The Curse of La Llorona.
Oh, right.
I mean, you got all these other films in this franchise, and it's like it's gotten almost to the point where it's so big that it makes me worried. But now it's like the Conjuring base series are always so fun for me to watch.
Wait a minute, maybe did I watch the first Conjuring?
I don't know, but I'm excited for this. I saw the first trailer when I went and saw Spiral. And like he turns around, he's like, "I think I hurt someone," and I was like, "Oh shit, this looks good." And then they have like the waterbed and the thing, and like
that looked pretty cool. It looked cool. I'm not gonna lie.
A sucker for this kind of thing. The only problem is my least favorite thing of horror movies is jump scares, and that is all the Conjuring franchise is.
Okay,
but it's like the stories are so cool because they're based on real events that the Warrens actually did. So I'm like,
well, no, this is. Maybe I'm trying to think. What's the one where
you think of Insidious?
I am. Yeah, like that's the one where they go into the next dimension, or whatever, right?
Yeah, because these are made by the same people.
Okay.
James Wan makes these franchises.
I mean, okay, but are they good films though?
James Wan knows what he's doing because he's the guy who made Saw, Aquaman. Like he helped do the Insidious films. James Wan knows what he's doing, along with what's his name, Lee Winnell. Because they're usually attached to projects together. I don't actually know about this one. I'm pretty sure this isn't directed by James Wan, but it's directed by the guy who made Curse of La Llorona. Interesting. And James Wan produced it.
He did the story too, I think it says.
I don't.
Story by James Wan. At least here on my
screen. He wrote it. Yeah. He also wrote Aquaman, Saw, Conjuring 2, Nun, Insidious 2, Dead Silence. I mean, he's got some movies where I'm like.
So let me ask you, want to break it if I saw this film, like what, or should I see the other ones first?
It's rough because, like I said, there's so many films in this. I don't want to call it, like it's a franchise.
You kind of wouldn't know until you watch it.
Yeah, because The Conjuring 1 and 2 are very much like together, but then Annabelle comes into picture, and like Annabelle comes home.
Right.
Is tied directly into the Warrens.
Okay.
So like that movie like is in their house. Like that's where the movie takes place.
Shit.
Because they have their museum in their house. So, like, I don't know how interconnected this is going to be with, like, the Annabelle franchise or anything like that. But I'm just excited because, like, it looks really good. It's right up my alley of horror movies I want to see. And it's on HBO Max.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, it's on HBO Max, too. Okay, cool. Well, that is awesome.
And I'm hyped. And then coming in at number 4 is Escape Room Tournament of Champions.
Oh, did I not have some on my list, man? See, there's so many films. Like I kind of, I'm almost glad that you did do it. I mean, I know I was kind of mad, but it's just like there's so many that I wanted to put on my list that I like to just narrow it down to 10. I just like they were all Marvel. So, so yeah, no, I'm so excited. Like, actually, I don't know how this. Well, anyways, this film like looks amazing.
It looks so fun. It's like. It's everything I want Saw to be.
Exactly, and I put off watching. We talked about this last time. I put off watching the first Escape Room for a while just because it kind of looked like B-rated to me.
It looked like a B-rated horror movie. I was like, ooh, this looks like a Saw ripoff with like an Escape Room
maybe that's
palette.
Maybe it does, and I was like, maybe that was just me like giving like all horror movies just like, oh, you're just a B-rated movie. Like, I'm not giving them a chance. But I'm just like, and then I finally watched this just one day. I popped it on TV. And I was so pleasantly surprised. I was like, "Wow!" I was like, and
great characters, great story. And then I've been waiting for a sequel, and it finally got a trailer, and it comes out in July, and I'm like, "Let's go!"
Yeah, I'm so excited. It had like Saw, but also what was it? I don't know what movie doing. What's that film? The horror film when they all go up to the cabin.
Cabin in the Woods.
Is it though? And
with Chris Hemsworth.
I think so, and that's the one where they like go into the.
There's like all the weird monsters.
The twist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had that very that kind of feel, like the first one did. Cabin in the Woods kind of feel, at first, anyways.
Yeah, dude, I'm just excited.
Me too.
I'm so excited for this movie.
Me too.
And then coming at number 3 is another horror movie.
Oh, cool.
Candyman.
Oh, I forgot about this. So this one was supposed to come out last year. I forgot this was even coming out still.
I am hyped as hell. This movie looks creepy. This movie looks whack.
Yeah, no, it looks cool.
It's like one of the. It's
this
like
is Jordan Peele too, yeah.
He produced it.
He produced it, and this is why, because it's actually a lady director. I forgot her name.
Nia DaCosta, who's directing.
She's also
the Marvels.
Nia DaCosta. She's also, isn't she an actor too? Actress, I mean.
No, she's only has directing titles.
Huh.
I guess.
DaCosta. I thought she did something else that I recognized before, but the Marvels is that
the Captain Marvel sequel.
On TV on the Disney Plus.
No, like the Captain Marvel.
Oh,
2.
she's actually okay. Well, that's cool.
And so she's also has this movie called Little Woods. I don't know what that is, but
it probably is because she was directing the Marvels. That's why I recognize her name.
Yeah, she's directing the Marvels for 2022. I just looked at her
exciting.
directing credit, and I was like, "Oh,
you know what's crazy to me, and just to think about, but like we're talking about these. I just talked about 5 Marvel films that are coming, or 4 Marvel films. They're still coming out this year, and we're in fucking June, and like I don't know. Just then you think about there's still movies coming out next year. Like we got Thor: Love and Thunder coming out next year. We got the Marvels coming out next year. And then that doesn't even include all the Disney Plus shows we haven't talked about. But
it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I'm excited for Candyman because like Jade and I watched the original Candyman. I haven't seen the other ones.
Right.
But this is like a continuation of the original Candyman because the man that's tormented by the Candyman in the trailer,
right,
was a boy, like a kid who Candyman tried to kill in the first movie.
Oh wow. So
I'm like, it's connected. I like that.
It's connected.
It has the same dude playing Candyman, and the trailer looked awesome.
Well, that's exciting. I'm super excited for that.
That's what I'm like. These are the horror movies that I like when they come out. I'm like, oh yeah, let's go.
That's
but
fair.
now we're in my top 2.
Ooh, top 2.
Number 2, The King's Man.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And here's the reason. So obviously, The King's Man is the prequel to the King's Men.
Yes.
I love the first King's Man, like that. I love Eggsy. I love that entire movie. Like was just my bread and butter right there. That's like a perfect movie for me. I mean, not perfect, but
it's one of those movies where I'm like, that's one I can put on and just have a fun time anytime. It doesn't matter how many times I watch it. I just laugh, and I love Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes, sir. Just the colors and the dogs and the training. It's just so wholesome.
Also, the fight scenes.
Yes,
the fight scenes.
Yes.
If anything, the fight scenes alone are what attracts me to the Kingsman series because I'm like,
they're just so edgy.
They're so brutal,
edgy, and just kind of like.
Even in like the suave. Even in the Kingsman 2, which I don't like as much as the first one.
That's what I was gonna get into.
The fight scene at the very end is awesome. Elton John's kicking ass. You got like them with their freaking briefcases with machine guns.
Yeah,
it's so good.
See, and then that's what I was gonna get into. This. So the second one, it was a step down from the first.
But I didn't
like the Statesman. That's the
I
US
didn't like
version.
the American
I didn't like
versions.
them.
I will say that it's probably like a star down for me. Like I still have a fun time with it, but I'm like, it's not one where I'm like, if I want to watch a Kingsman movie, I'm not going to put it on the second one. I'm not going to be like, I don't really want to deal with Channing Tatum. I don't care.
Exactly.
But like Eggsy being like trying to find himself and like stop Samuel L. Jackson down, hands down, there, ready.
No, I agree with you. No, it was still a solid film. I just know it was a step down from the first.
But this one, I love the World War I palette.
Right.
I love the characters that they have. I like the references that because this movie was teased in the Kingsman 2, where they're like, "We started 100 years ago."
Right. Yeah.
And now I'm
like their history.
This stuff looks so cool, and I'm a sucker for the era that it's based in. Like, I like 1917. Loved it. I love these like movies that are coming out where they're basing around that era because usually it's World War II.
You're right. Like, it is.
Let's go like a little bit to World War I. There's not enough about that, and then you have these like the action scenes. I already know they're gonna be great. We got the World War I background. This can be some brutal stuff. I'm excited. They even have the saying, what it is, man maketh.
Oh, I can't remember.
God, I can't remember. I know. That quote is in the trailer. It slipped my mind right now.
Yeah,
Manners maketh man.
Oh, okay.
I'm so excited because this is like an origin. I love it. And the cast looks so fun.
Yeah, no, I'm certainly looking forward to this. I wouldn't be. I wish we had another Eggsy film because I love that character. But if
they have Aaron Taylor Johnson is in this.
He's okay. I guess I'm in.
It also has Voldemort.
No.
Ralph Fiennes.
Okay. I would have never gotten that.
Somehow I just watch a ton of his movies without realizing that he's going to be in it, and he's like on Letterboxd one of my most watched actors just because he's in everything.
Obviously, Aaron Taylor Johnson's my main squeeze. So, that's kick ass. So whatever he's in, I'm there as well. And then rounding out your top list, what do you have number?
Last Night in Soho, baby. Let's go. Hyped as hell. I love Edgar Wright. I'm so down. This trailer came out last week, and I'm like, let's go. It's my most hyped film other than Marvel.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
This looks really good. I am very much skeptical when it comes. Well, actually, no, I'm not. I don't know.
They released a synopsis on Letterboxd.
Oh, go ahead.
A young girl passionate about fashion design is mysteriously able to enter the 1960s where she encounters her idol, a dazzling wannabe singer. But 1960s London is not what it seems, and time seems to be falling apart with shady consequences.
I looked at Bryce when he first started that, like, all weirdly, because, like, are you sure you're not just reading the one for Cruella, a fashion designer? No, honestly, that's exactly what the trailer showed us. And
you know how long this movie's gonna be?
Let me guess, like 2 hours and
2.5.
2.5 hours, dude. Bro, that's. I don't. Okay, I guess we're going to that. I don't, how do you go to 2.5 hours of a thriller?
I'm like, I looked at the time. It says 157 minutes. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Man, that's gonna be intense. I'm not gonna lie.
Blew me away. Holy crap!
But this trailer came out. We talked about it last time, but it definitely jumped up on my most anticipated list. Not onto it, but just
that runtime scares the hell out of me. I'm like, man, that's a long movie.
Yeah, dude. It definitely is.
Like Cruella was long, but like that's longer than Cruella. Like, it's
and you're thinking about a thriller.
Oh God.
How you gonna, I mean, it better blow my mind for 2.5 hours. That's all I'd damn say.
In the Heights is almost 2.5 hours long too. Jesus.
I feel like a lot of them are coming out a little bit longer.
Meanwhile, like Escape Room 2, 90 minutes. Jungle Cruise, 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, why is Last Night so long? Like, this better keep my attention. Like, I was down for like maybe 100-minute long thriller. 2 hours and 2.5 hours? That's an hour longer than I thought it was going to be. Jesus.
Yeah, honestly, though. But there's more movie for us to love, though, hopefully.
I was like, oh my God.
See, and here's the thing, though, is we didn't even get to mention like some of the other films I'm looking forward to, like Free Guy, Hitman's Wife, Bodyguard, and let's just Ryan Reynolds.
Hitman's Wife, Bodyguard has me kind of worried because I kind of feel like they're forcing the comedy in that.
I don't even remember liking the first one. I'm just saying, like, that's still coming.
I was watching the trailer for it, and I was like, I'm not feeling the pizzazz of the first one in this. I just kind of feel like y'all forcing this.
Yeah, they probably are, but it's Ryan Reynolds, so... I said that, and I tried watching that one film he did on Netflix, like, I think it's called 7 Underground, and that was not a great film.
No, that
actually, I didn't even watch that.
That got review bombed.
I didn't even watch that far. I watched, like, 30 minutes of it, and I was like, I'm done. It's just, like, it was not that great. But yeah, like I said, there's still so many films that we didn't even talk about, like the Top Gun Maverick. That looks super exciting.
For you.
You're right, exactly. Pixar's Luca.
Oh, dude, that comes out next. Doesn't that come out next month?
It does, yeah. Next June 18th. Right. We're in June. It comes out this month.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Only on Disney Plus though.
I totally forgot that movie was coming out. Now I'm like, there's so many movies I want to watch this month.
We got Fast 9. I'm just kidding.
Man, Jada wants me to go watch that.
The Forever Purge.
I'm not a fan of the Purge series. I've only ever.
I love the first one. I love the first one. The other ones are hit and miss, but we can see what else we got. Space Jam. We talked about that. Old. We didn't talk about that. That looks good.
6-year-old giving birth.
Oh my God! Why you're so fixated on that?
I hate it.
And then Snake Eyes. That new Snake Eyes that looks super cool. I'm just listing all the films that are coming still out. Dude, Don't Breathe 2. Oh my God, I love the first Don't Breathe.
Jada
it was
fell
so
asleep
gross
when we watched it.
How, Jada? It's creepy as fuck.
She's asleep right now.
Oh my God, that's funny. Let's see what else we got. I'm just trying to see about anything else interesting. Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Remember those pictures?
Dude, that's so bad. Oh yeah, dude, have you seen the trailer for Dear Evan Hansen? I think you did. I sent you it. I said, I was like, damn, if you want to see the trailer make you cry.
I never watched it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have you watch it because after we get off this, because that trailer, bro, it sounds like Dear Evan Hansen. That doesn't sound like a film you would watch, does it? Like when I heard when I heard that name in that trailer, I'm like, this sounds stupid. And then I clicked the trailer and I was like, fuck, I gotta watch this. Like I hate that I have to watch this film now. Like that's what it's that good a trailer. Dude, we didn't talk about Venom 2.
That's because I'm nervous about Venom 2.
I mean, me too, but it's Venom 2. I mean, okay, but the first thing is the first one did pretty good, and then it made over $800 million, and plus you have Carnage in the film. And
Carnage,
yeah, you have Carnage in the film. I mean, how bad can it really be? You know,
it's a Marvel movie, dude. They could literally just slap Marvel Studios or Marvel on anything, and I'm like, I got to go see it because I've seen every Marvel movie released since 1947. Like, it's now like I can't miss anything. Exactly. I gotta watch everything. So like, They could be like, we're making a movie about Forget Me Not, and I'd be like, oh, fuck, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
That would actually be a funny comedy.
Forget Me Not.
Forget Me Not, because like you know about him, right?
No.
He's a mutant whose power is that the minute you look away from him, you forget he ever existed.
Huh. That's an interesting
So,
power.
like,
No, I'd never heard of him.
The only mutant that remembers him is Charles Xavier because he put a thing in his mind to remind him about it every few minutes. So like that'd be a funny ass comedy because he'd be like stopping crime. And they're just like, "Who did this?" Oh, I don't really know.
Wow.
There was like a comic book where he talks to like I think it was Spider-Man or something. And they're like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm Forget Me Not." I was like, "Forget Me Not." It's like I've been an X-Men for years.
Oh,
I was
so
one of
sad.
the original X-Men.
That's so sad.
He's like my favorite mutant, man. His power is so bad yet so helpful. Like he could rob a bank and no one would fucking know.
Like, who is that guy? Who's who? Keep looking at the screen. Like, who's that guy? Oh yeah, who is that guy? And look away. Like, wait, who? We need to find our killer still. What the fuck? That could be a good comedy.
They just like look down. They're like,
it'd be hard to navigate though because you need somebody that could like I don't know. It would be difficult to do, but I feel like that'd be cool comedy if you could make it work.
I'm gonna send an email to Marvel and be like, yo, I don't know if this is interesting to you guys, but for the first X-Men property, Forget Me Not.
Just to make everybody forget that there's an X-Men character.
My god, his whole thing is just his power makes everyone forget mutants ever existed.
Just imagine though, like you know the John Cena memes, but you can't see him. The Dave Bautista things about Drax, and he's moving so slow you can't see him. Just imagine that character's things. Like everybody pretend they don't even know what movie you're talking about. Like, have you seen that film? What was it called? I don't remember. I don't remember what it's called anymore. Forget Me Not. But have you seen Forget Me Not? What is that? I don't know what you're talking about. This film. Oh yeah, no, I know that film. And I was like, okay, so did you think it was good? What film? What are you talking about? People would troll you, everybody so hard.
This shit would be so funny. His whole movie's an origin film about Forget Me Not that ends up with him making everyone forget mutants ever existed.
Okay, so some more films. Exactly. We have Jackass 4. I don't know if you're a fan of the Jackass series.
I hate them.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it, so I don't care.
Jay
But
made me watch like 3 movies about the Jackass people, like movies they've made, and every single one of them, I'm like, this isn't funny.
King Richard. There's that trailer that just came out for it. It looks semi-interesting. I don't know. Some other people are excited for it. Did you see the trailer for that?
No.
It was very like medieval-y. I don't know. It looked interesting.
The Green Knight.
Oh, that's what I was talking about. The Green Knight, wasn't it? Yeah, I don't know what King Richard is, but the Green Knight, yeah.
I don't know what King Richard is, even though you said it.
I did.
The Green Knight looks good.
The Green Knight is what I was talking about.
Jada like started the trailer, and then she was like, "This looks like trash." And then the tree dude showed up and got his head cut off, and she was like, "Okay."
It just looks weird. Like it just looks interesting. Weird. It looks like
I'm like, this looks like a Brothers Grimm film. Like,
it does.
I'm hyped as fuck.
And then we have. I don't know if you're a fan of the Resident Evil series, but they have Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City.
Is that a movie or a TV show? Because I think it's a Netflix show.
It says theaters on Thanksgiving.
That's weird because I thought it was a Netflix show.
I could be wrong.
Maybe it's a Netflix movie?
Oh my god, why are they making me click this? Director Johnson Roberts says set in 1998, this relevant origin story explains the secrets of Spencer Mansion and Raccoon City. I
don't know how to feel about this because I thought Netflix was making a TV show.
It could be. I'm not sure, but I know that definitely says theaters. West Side, blah, blah, blah. And then we have Matrix 4.
Nah. It's unneeded, so I'm very salty about it.
I'm always out of the position that I feel like any movie's never unneeded.
This is totally unneeded. The series has been done for like over 10 years.
Yeah, you're coming off of the John Wick series, which is still happening in full swing, but with Keanu Reeves now in full effect again, and then you're like, if they have a story, they have a story.
Money.
Yeah, pretty much. But then again, that's the point for all films. So
replicas all over again.
Don't mention that film. I hate that film so much. I saw that for free, and I feel like I got my time stolen. Anyways, so that was all the films that were most anticipated for. Hey guys, what films are you most anticipated for? Palpatine. Yeah, tell me in the comment section or shoot us a message or something. We'd like to know. We'll give you a shout out. And we're gonna dive into some of our weekly movie watches now. Since we just did our podcast the other day, we don't have a whole lot to talk about. But Bryce, I'll let you go first. What any good films do you like to talk about?
Oscar Monday.
Oh yeah, the thing I haven't been to in
we watched years. No Country for Old Men.
Hey, didn't I watch that with you?
No. I haven't seen it before this Monday, so no.
No Country for Old Men. What was that film with Daniel Day-Lewis?
There Will Be Blood.
Oh, okay, yeah. It sounds the same, but well, what was that about?
It's weird. Okay, so it's like I want to say there's 2 storylines. This guy basically like is in the desert and like is hunting. He stumbles upon these like vehicles that was like shootout, and he finds this briefcase of money.
Money.
So he takes the money because when you brought a briefcase of millions and millions of dollars, like you want to take the money,
Right?
And then the cartel basically sends a hitman to get him and get the money back.
Oh, okay.
As the whole movie is following this hitman as he's like going around, and he's like he uses this, the thing where they kill the cows, like they put it to their head and pop, air gun kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He uses that, and it is the most interesting weapon I've ever seen a hitman use.
Wow.
Because he just like carries it, turns on the dial, and puts it in someone's heads, and pa, and kills the dude. And I was like, that is fucking genius. Because the whole movie, like the cops are like, what's his name? Tommy Lee Jones.
Mm.
That's his name. He was in. He played Agent K.
Man in Black.
He was in Captain America, the First Avenger. He played the drill sergeant.
Sure.
He was the one who's like words aren't win with bravery, the wins with guts, and like throws the grenade, and Captain America like lands on it.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Okay, so he plays the police officer,
right?
And he's like talking to this woman about this guy he knew who used to kill cattle with the air gun, and he's trying to find out what weapon the guy is using because they can't find any like residual, and like he's talking about the weapon the guy uses but isn't realizing it's the weapon.
Oh my god.
So I'm like sitting there, I'm like, dude. So they're like the cops are hunting the hitman's hunting the dude, and it's like this whole cat and mouse thing where the dude's trying to like get away, and basically like the hitman is just killing everybody. He's whack, and it's like great shootouts between him and the main dude, and the guy is Josh Brolin.
Oh, okay, cool.
Josh Brolin plays the dude chasing down, and have you seen Dead Men Tell No Tales?
Sure.
You know Captain Salazar from that movie, the ghost dude?
Yeah.
That's who plays the hitman.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it's like based in the 80s, and it's really intense.
Oh, so it's a good film then?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay.
I think I gave it 4 stars. It was really good.
Okay, that's cool.
It was so fun, but like I was stoned out of my mind when I watched it, so I was like ultra focused, and I was like, holy shit.
That's funny. I like that.
I forget what I wrote about it though, because I'm like I was pretty fucked up.
I was all fucked up on Mountain Dew.
I said the story felt splintered because it kept like jumping around, and like the characters would die suddenly and just like be gone. Like when they died, there was no like big send off, even if it was like a big actor. It would just move on to the next thing. And so I'm like, I get it, but it bothers me because like it's a main character you've been following for like most of the movie, and then they're just like, yeah, moving on. And I'm
Game
like,
of Thrones.
I'm like,
be like,
bruh. Like,
but I know Game of Thrones is a series, obviously. But that's pretty cool. I mean, I'll definitely have to keep that on my radar then.
On Letterboxd, it has a 4.3 average.
That's a good average.
It says Leowyn Moss stumbles upon dead bodies, $2 million in a hoard of heroin in a Texas desert. The methodical killer Anton Sugar comes looking for it with local sheriff Ed Tom Bell hot on his trail. The roles of prey and predator blur as the violent pursuit of money and justice collide. And it's directed by the Coen brothers.
The Coen brothers?
Yeah,
Coen. Coen.
Yeah, they directed like Fargo, The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, Raising Arizona. And one of them, I think it's Joel Coen, is married to Frances McDormand.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Which is also a funny story with the Coen brothers. You know how Bill Murray did the Garfield movies?
Mm-hmm.
You know why he did the Garfield movies?
Why?
He thought that the Coen brothers wrote the script because it was a guy named Joel Coen, but it wasn't Joel Coen from the Coen brothers.
Oh my god.
So he didn't even read the script. He just saw it was written by Joel Coen and was like, I'm in.
Wow, he thought it was one of the Coen brothers. Just imagine though, you set him for a whole film franchise because you thought it was you were working with somebody that you weren't. That's kind of sad.
That's why, like in Zombieland, they have that thing where he's like, "Oh, why Garfield 3?"
Oh my god.
He's like, Coke.
Oh my god. Wow.
That's
pretty cool.
I don't know if I watched anything else recently. Oh, I did watch something right after we watched Social Network last week. I went home.
Oh yeah.
And Letterboxd had this thing when you go to your stats, you can look at your completed collections, right?
Right.
And they added ones you were almost complete on, so you can see what movies you're missing to complete those collections.
Right.
I was missing one movie in the Jay and Silent Bob collection. Jay and Silent Bob's super groovy cartoon movie. It was fucking horrible.
What was horrible about it?
It's over. Like, Jay and Silent Bob are sexual people, right?
Right.
But this was overly sexual. They had a character named Cockhead. Guess what he was? A man with a
Cockhead.
yeah. They also had
I mean, it's just Bob. I don't know what you expect.
You know Tara Strong?
Hey, I know her. Yeah, she's a voice actress.
Yeah, she plays a character in this movie called the Cockknocker.
I fucking love that. It's hilarious.
And all she does,
you have to imagine though. It's like this is probably like okay, like Jane. They're not. What's their names again? Fucking Kevin Smith and
Jason Mewes.
Yeah, Jason Mewes, exactly. I bet you they sat down like, okay, let's write.
It's actually really funny.
An animated film as Jay and Silent Bob.
Kevin Smith actually has like intersex in the movie where he like talks. Mm-hmm. He's like, I don't hate lesbians because there's like a movie. There's like a scene. All I could think about was like Chasing Amy where he got the backlash.
Oh my god, right.
But when the Cockknocker was gonna be like introduced, he like come on. He's like, hey guys. You know, this would be a really good moment for like Mark Hamill to come on is like with the Joker voice, but we can't afford that. So instead, I'm going to give you Tara Strong.
But she's probably expensive as fuck too.
She plays a dude though, so it's like this guy with like this really high pitched bubbles
Timmy
voice.
Turner?
Yeah, Timmy Turner, Raven.
Yeah, she's a lot of characters.
And so it's this guy with this like loud, like high voice.
Oh my god!
It was and like giant hand, so he like Cockhead and her would like. She, you know.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
He exploded. Yeah, it's bad.
And Stan Lee's in this too?
Stan Lee makes a cameo. Yeah. And
wow.
then like they basically play Bluntman and Chronic.
Yeah, of course.
Movie because like it's like a superhero thing.
Oh my god.
The whole beginning was like a parody on other superhero things, like how they got their powers.
I'm sure it was.
Like there's a scene where like this guy's like tries to push them away of a radioactive barrel.
Yeah.
And then it falls in the sewer, and Kevin Smith's like, remember, kids, mutant turtles come from the sewers, not space. Michael Bay.
Yeah, because, oh my god.
There's also a scene where, like, Peter Parker makes like an appearance because he's like, they're like, go in, they're like, what's your name? He's like, oh, I'm Peter Parker. Shut up.
You can't say that.
There's like a spider that comes down, and like they end up squishing it instead of getting powers.
Oh my god.
It's bad. And they end up just getting a ton of money and turning to Batman and Chronic's like Batman.
It just sounds goofy.
It's so dumb. I was so mad. And Stan Lee made the cameo, and all I could think about was like in Teen Titans Go, where he shows up and he's like, "Who cares if it's a DC movie? I just love cameos."
Is that what he said, pretty much?
Dude, I was just like, why get Stan Lee for this? Like,
and why not at that point?
I know Kevin Smith and him were friends, but like, Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny though. I saw a TV series on Amazon Prime. Not quite a movie, but I think it was still pretty cool. Called Invincible. I wasn't gonna give this.
That's where all the memes are from. Where think.
Yeah, no, seriously, I totally got it too at the end. I hadn't read this comic series. I knew of it. I just never get a chance. It just looked too superhero-y, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, you know, when you read comic books, like, this is just too superhero-y. Like, it's just like, I'm gonna put, and so I never like gave it a chance. And then obviously this TV series came out. I put on the TV show for the first like 5 minutes of it but basically I watched the first 5 minutes before it cut to the main character, which I didn't realize. But so I was watching this like first 5 minutes, and it was just absolutely atrocious. Like, it was just like, what am I watching? Like, I don't want to watch this crap. So I turned it off, and then I had a few people tell me that I need to keep watching it. So I was like, all right, well, look, I'll tell you what. I'll give you the end of the first episode. I'll sit there and power through it.
Me with Game of Thrones.
As soon as right, and then as soon as they turned like until it turned to the main character after like the opening scene, I was invested. I was like, oh, this is what the story's about. Okay, I'm totally in. It's awesome. So yeah, I would definitely recommend checking this out. It's so much fun.
You know, I watched the first episode of Game of Thrones for free because it was available for free, and then right after the episode, I looked at Jada. I was like, "We gotta go to Walmart."
No, I know exactly.
I gotta go buy it.
Exactly. It's those things that you just don't expect to hit you that are nice. So
super. It also helped that I had the flu when I watched it, so I was totally like, I'm gonna be stuck at home for a week anyway, so let's just go buy Game of Thrones so I have something to do.
Exactly. So that's fun.
I need to check it out. Like Jacob was telling me I needed to watch it.
I mean, what? They're like 45-minute episodes, so a little bit on the longer side.
That's my issue with TV shows, because I'm like, it's like when they're coming out one a week,
right?
Like like the Disney ones. I'm like, I can allot an hour or 2 hours to watch this.
Right. It's easy
because it's a whole series are out, and I'm like, that's a lot of time for me to invest in this.
I spent a whole day watching it.
Yeah, I was like, I could be watching like Criterion movies, getting through that, or I could watch this fucking 10 hours of this TV show.
Yeah,
but I can watch 10 movies.
A lot of TV shows, what I like about them is that I'm able to be invested in the same character for a long period of time. I don't know. I just remember
It's
like,
more
that's why-
character development, but my issue is just like I don't feel like I have enough time to invest in that anymore. I'm like, I can watch a 3-hour long movie, get the story done, get everything from it, or I can watch a 40-hour television show where they're just gonna keep having issues every season. Like get it over with. Like
Yeah,
that's why I never finished Dexter. Because I got to like season 4, and then I realized like every season just starts off with like, oh, somebody shows up, starts doing it, or somebody shows, and then they just go through the whole season repeating it, and then they just do it every season. I'm like,
you're right.
So
Part
sick
of
it.
TV series is to be invested in the character, and you don't really care what goes on the screen half the time. You just want to be the character. And there's a difference between like miniseries and
it's like this is a 10-episode miniseries.
Yeah, or
30-minute
like TV
episodes.
series,
I'm like,
you know,
cool. And then
like,
there's like 10 seasons of a show, and I'm like, I'm not gonna watch
like,
that. Like,
you can definitely tell the way things have changed, especially when they do like straight to, or when streaming services come out with their new TV shows. When it's a miniseries versus a TV show, because a TV show, it's meant to be periodical. Every episode.
Like, the end of the season. Wait till next season.
Yeah, and they develop the script as they go along with the show. Well, something like this, like where they have 10 episodes, they fully have a plan ahead of time. I think.
Yeah, it's like
more
the
more
Falcon
so.
and the Winter Soldier. Like there's 6 episodes,
exactly
6 hours, and I'm like, I can do 6 hours. 6 hours is manageable, especially like 1 hour a week or whatever.
Especially when it's so
but
polished.
10 hours, I'm like, I'm one of those people that if I start something, I got to finish it.
Yeah,
that's why I haven't bought like Resident Evil 8 or anything, because I'm like, I'm still playing Ghost of Tsushima, and I'm not buying another game until it be Ghost of Tsushima, but it's taking me fucking forever.
Right.
So I'm like, I gotta finish this before I can do that. So if I start a TV show, I'm not gonna be watching movies for 2 days because all I'm gonna be doing is trying to watch the show.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'm like, I gotta push through my criterion. I don't have time to spend watching this.
Also, what I like about Invincible is that it's one of those shows like you don't have to watch on your TV. Like you can take from TV to your phone. It doesn't.
Oh yeah. But I'm just like I get obsessed with stuff, so I'm like I gotta stay focused. Otherwise, like I'm not gonna be able to finish what I'm already doing.
That's fair.
I did hear it was really good though. Like
no,
I've had like 5 people tell me like you need to watch it, you would love it, and I'm like,
yeah, I think
like
so.
You guys said that about The Boys too, and I still haven't watched that because I got other stuff I got to do.
The Boys are really good. You need to watch that as well. But yeah,
everyone sends me like memes from these too, where they're just like, "Oh, this is funny." And I'm like, I don't get it. I haven't seen it. I don't know.
I'm also one of those people that and more so than you are. I like to keep up with pop culture stuff. So I can be able to talk about it to other people.
I'm like 1940s movies. Everyone's like, "Why?" And I'm like,
which I definitely
for me,
right. I definitely don't mind that there's a place and time for those. But for me, like I don't watch much content as it is, just because a lot of times I just don't care to watch stuff like just at home. It's just not my thing.
I kind of like that you're more in tune with like nowadays stuff than me, because I'm like, you'll tell me stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And I'm like, I'm completely like 40 years in the past right now. I'm like, yeah, this movie from the 80s is really good.
Yeah, no, which like I said, there's nothing like, I just am in a different track when it comes to stuff.
I'll watch this movie from 1923. Why? Because it's good. I don't know. Like, it's for me, not for you.
No, exactly. So, that is all the stuff we watched. We kind of walked throughout the week. But with that down, we're gonna move on to our main top part of the show, which is our Filmverse feature.
Episode 4 of our Fincher watch.
I know. Woo! We're kind of like in that Fincher grind right now. Each week we pick up a movie that we want the other person to see. And this week, or relatively want them to see. And this week I chose Gone Girl, which is another David Fincher film, which we previously did 7, and then we did before that. No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did. Social Network.
7.
And then
other movie.
What is it? Zodiac.
Then 7.
I totally had the cover in my mind, but I was just completely spacing on the title, so I was just like this black square in my head. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
The first time we realized that we were just on a David Fincher binge was like the last film, which was what was that again?
Social Network.
Yeah, you joke because you were like, oh, we're watching these 2 films. We want to watch Social Network, and I'm like, well, if we're gonna watch the Social Network, I might as well watch this one I wanted to see forever, Gone Girl. And it's the funny thing is like I didn't even realize that I didn't realize until then that all these were David Fincher films. But anyways, about Gone Girl, we watched Mank together, and we both hated it. And now we're like watching this, and we're like, "Yeah, this is okay. Okay, this is really good. Oh, this is okay. Oh, this is really good." I think part of the reason that I don't like Mank so much is because a lot of people think it's no. I'm not specifically hating it because people think it's.
I hate it. Fuck them.
No. But I'm just saying. I just want to make it clear that I'm not hating it specifically because other people don't like it. I mean, because they do like it, they praise it. I'm just saying I watched it, and I'm like, I just feel like
I've watched it twice. And I still feel like something's missing. I'm like, they should have cast Gary Oldman as this character.
I just don't hear. I don't hear what they're trying to say. Like, because the dialogue is weird to me. I don't know what they're trying to say.
Dude, the whole movie is weird to me because I'm just like, who cares?
Anyway, so we're talking about Gone Girl.
Yeah, Mank's in the past. You can listen to our episode about that in like December.
Yeah, exactly. So Gone Girl, really solid film. A lot better than his other stuff. Even though I
the
gave his
pace
main
is
stuff,
it's a lot better pace than a lot of the other ones.
I say a lot better. I'm probably only gonna give this like a half star higher than everything else.
That's okay.
No, but I'm just
That
saying.
still makes it better.
No, it does. But in my head, I'm just like, it's a lot better. But I'm like, well, but like not a 4-star. It's like 3.5. So, this is still a lot better. The pace, even though it's a long film, the pace is still so much better because it feels like they're actually saying something half the time. A lot of other films, like it was progressing forward, but very slowly.
Yeah, because when you think about like Zodiac, Seven, or
Right.
I mean, they were doing stuff, but you didn't really feel invested in it. And this one had you invested in both the woman
Still though,
and the guy.
Exactly. But still though, every single film he's made easily could have shaved off at 30 minutes and made it more tighter, punchier film.
Yeah, I mean, I would say this is, in my opinion, one of the better films he's made. Because like watching it even now, I've seen it before. It's like watching it again, I'm still like, no, this is still a solid film. Like this is a really good film. I think I gave it 4 stars the first time, and actually watching it this time boosted up a half star higher because I'm just like, this shit's nuts.
Not the film I thought I was going to see. I'll tell you that because a lot of I heard people say like it was crazy. She's crazy. I've heard that there's like a twist, and I'm like, and I think I already had it spoiled that she was alive. I already knew that like since a while ago, just because of being in pop culture. But it just definitely did not have the same vibe that I thought it was gonna go with, and then obviously ended it with kind of like a Finchery ending. I want to say all his endings are kind of like either shocking
like that
or like
big pop, like
Yeah.
oh look at that. Except for Social Network, which really didn't have that. But I mean that's kind of like, in my opinion, the outlier of his works, where it's like I don't know why he made it, because I'm like, it doesn't seem like a project he would have touched.
Yeah, the Social Network was like, I don't know, because that was more like a docudrama.
Yeah, I mean these are more like his actual, like you can tell he like thought of these and actually made like these. And Social Network just feels out of place in his filmography.
It does, but you can still sell his film, and that was one of the things. Is like if I sat down and now being more collected with his work, if you put me in front of a David Fincher film, I'm sure I could probably spot it, because like there's just like much like Quentin Tarantino.
They have a style.
Yeah, they have a style. You can just feel it. It's almost like it's not even like I mean, I'm sure if I studied his work more, I could tell you exactly what it is. But it's just very like, I don't know, just the way he films his movies and like the way he tells his stories. It's just like, oh, this is David Fincher. I can tell.
100%. Yeah, I could. Even watching this now, I'm like, you had the music, you had the way the camera moved. I was like, you can tell.
It's even the way the movie looks, like just the
I will say that I loved
lighting.
the change in you, like the more the movie went on, because at first you're like,
it was too.
This woman's really like smart, and I was like, no, she's
I thought
psycho.
she was too. No, exactly. I started out this film like thinking, okay, so what's going on, blah blah blah, and then she leaves, whatever, and then you start unraveling her plan. And I'm like, no, she's super smart. Like this is like some Sherlock 9000 level shit right now. Her leaving her husband because he cheated on her, and then like blaming him for his murder. Like that's some really smart shit. And then you find out she's actually crazy and just like controls people's lives and fucks herself up.
You start hearing the other guys she's fucked over, and then you're like, oh shit, he is psycho. And I'm like, yeah, she's crazy. Like,
I wish I thought, I don't know, because to me it was like there was a point where it went from revenge, like smart revenge, to just kind
you're
of
taking
psychotic.
This a bit far, like
just a psychotic. And I was like, okay, you took it too far. Like especially when she's hitting herself, and I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, you're getting
the
like,
scene that changed it is when she's like with the hammer, and you're like, okay, yeah, this is a little bit far.
No, not even that scene. I was like, okay, you're taking it a little too far. You're pushing yourself over the edge. And then what made me really just like sell her on fucking hated her is when she spit in that chick's Mountain Dew for no reason. Like, fuck you. Like, you're an evil bitch. Like, there's no reason to do that. You just spit in the chick's Mountain Dew. And then they took her money, and I'm like, I don't feel bad for you. They should take your money.
Like, you deserve this. Like, you're doing a lot of bad things, and you're upset that they took your money. Like, this is your fault.
Right. I was like, they did bad shit, but honestly, you're a piece of trash. So.
I still enjoy this movie. My wife actually showed me this. Like, she bought it. Like, we were at the Entertainment Mart, and she saw it, and she was like, oh, we need this. And I was like, I don't know what that is. She's like, you'll love it. And I was like, I doubt it. And then she made me watch it like a year later, because I kept pushing it off because like I don't want to watch that. That sounds dumb. And then like watching it, I was like, this is fucking nuts.
That's hilarious.
And then watching it again, I'm still like, yo, this is a solid film. Like, this is
It's just about a dude losing his hearing.
Dude, it's crazy to me. I'm like, all right, like
honestly, every time I think of that's for some reason, every time you recommend a movie to me, or like you watch some other film, or like you say something like you're excited about a film that's like super old. For some reason, I just like it rubs me the wrong way, and I'm just like, oh, I don't want to see it. It's probably trash then. And then I always think back to the not Whiplash. What's the other film? It was Sound of Metal. And I'm just be constantly reminded of that. I'm just like, you know what? I have to give him the benefit of the doubt. Because I said, just a dude losing his hearing, how good can it be? And then I watched that film, I fucking cried. And I'm like, okay, you know what, Bryce, fine. I'm sorry. I don't know why I get mad, but I do. And I was like, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Sometimes you have a good opinion. All right.
That's exactly how I feel too. And I'm just like, okay, fine.
I got so mad when you were like, no, it doesn't look good. And I was like, it's so good though. Just watch it. God. It's a new movie. You watch these. Just watch the movie.
I was in my room on the phone looking. I was like, no, it's stupid. And then, it's like just a dude losing his hearing. And then you said, so I don't know. Well, no.
You got
honestly,
nominated for Best
yeah.
Picture. And then you're like, well, I guess I have to watch it.
No, I mean, that's the biggest thing. Yeah. I mean, you like, it got nominated for Best Picture. And I'm like, oh, shit. And then I realized there was a new movie because I didn't realize there was a new movie when you told me about it. So I looked at it. I was just like, fine. And then I sat down and watched it. And I was like, oh, shit. Nomadland, I'm still not the biggest fan of.
Dude, I still think that was
visually super appealing.
Visually amazing. But after seeing all of them, I'm like, Sound of Metal or The Father were definitely my picks.
The Father was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, like
it's one of those films that I don't think I want to see again because I'm just so mind fucked.
I have to watch it again
Do you?
because my grandma wants to watch it.
Yeah.
And so I bought it on Blu-ray, and she's like, "I want to watch it."
Tell me if it holds up the second time because I'm sure it might, but I'm just like. I just don't want to feel like that again.
Yeah, because
I don't want to experience that again.
I watched it in theaters, right?
Me too.
Like I'm sitting there in theater, and I'm like, "This movie's whack as hell." And Jada's over there crying for like half the movie next to me because she's a CNA, so she's like feeling like I was over there like
she knows what goes on. Yeah,
I was like, "All right."
Yeah, I'm just sitting here, and I'm like, honestly, like that was a fabulous directing piece. I don't want to be a part of that experience.
It was a play. The guy wrote it as a play, and then he had it as a play, and then
I can see that.
He was like, this would be great as a movie, and directed his own movie. And then he said that he wouldn't have made the movie if Anthony Hopkins hadn't signed on because that's who he thought of when he wrote the part.
Wow. And that was another one other thing I was gonna say. Oh fuck, I had a whole point there. Oh well. But yeah, no, it was super good. I was
really happy with Anthony Hopkins winning Best Actor for that. Everyone was really mad about Chadwick Boseman, but I'm like, yo, like Anthony Hopkins' performance was amazing. Like, don't give it to him as don't give Chadwick Boseman like an award for pity. Yeah. Like, you died. Here's an award. Like. If he was going to get Best Actor, let him actually...
I respect the dude, and I love the dude. We know we all love Chadwick Boseman. But then again, okay, so out of your mind that he's gone for a minute, right? You have to look at the performances as they are in the films, not based on your emotions on
exactly.
your emotions on the piece, on the film.
Because
and he wasn't even a main character.
The award wouldn't have been as... It wouldn't have been as meaningful if he just gotten it because he died.
Right.
Like, Anthony Hopkins... earned that award. I was really pulling for Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal because that was really solid too.
Yeah, either one they give it to, I couldn't be mad at though.
But I was like Anthony Hopkins earning. I was like, man, that makes so much sense. Like it's so solid.
I agree.
Anyway,
well, that was all for this week. Our fellow
want to hear my pick for next week?
Oh yeah, sorry, my brain's jumping ahead. Yeah, go ahead. We can talk about that. What's your pick for next week?
So I haven't seen this movie since I was a kid, and it seemed fitting since we were on the Fincher bin. We're going to continue it. We going on to Fight Club.
Fight Club, hooray! Yeah, no, I've seen this film a little bit while ago. It was super good.
I haven't seen it since I remember some scenes. Like I remember,
and there is a twist, but do you remember
I remember the twist. Because like, how can you can't forget that twist? That twist is
I know, but I'm just saying, you're a kid, so.
But I remember like a scene in the bathroom.
That twist.
I remember like the druggy girl. I remember the twist. I really don't remember anything else.
I wasn't expecting a twist in the Fight Club, so that's why when it hit me, I'm like, yo, that was smooth.
Dude, even when I was like, I think I saw it when I was 8 or something like that. My sister was watching it. And you're 8 years old. You're not paying attention to half the stuff.
Right.
But even then, I was like, what?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But Jada, because she now has Wednesdays off every week, which is convenient for us.
Jada.
She's never seen Fight Club.
You never seen Fight Club, Jada? Okay, so good thing I was very vague about the twist.
Yeah, exactly. I've been wanting to watch it, but it's one of those movies where I'm like, that's a long movie.
Right.
But now I'm like, we can do it for the podcast.
We definitely can. So that'll be super exciting. And check in next week. We talk about Fight Club. And thank you guys for joining us as we talked a slew of movie news. We talked our top 10 most anticipated films of the year, and we talked the film we watched, David Fincher's film of the week. New episodes come out every Tuesday, so be sure to follow us and turn on notifications to get updates every time we post. If you want to keep up with our activities outside the airwaves, you can stalk us on Instagram at Into the Filmverse Podcast. Bryce, where can people follow you and your wonderful adventures online?
You can find me on Letterboxd at Payne Reviews. I add a review basically every single day, probably multiple reviews. And then you can follow me on Twitter at Sanguine Director.
Close enough, Sanguine Films.
I was close. I mean, I was like Sanguine something. I need to use that more. I think I'm going to do it to update like when I watch a Criterion movie or something.
I just tweeted this morning.
I see all your tweets. They always come up, and they're always like Mychel Chandler tweeted, and I'm like, oh look, he tweeted again.
He tweeted, but you get notifications when I tweet
every single time.
Did you get the one this morning? Yeah, I was sitting. Well, I'll just a quick preference. I went to pick up my groceries this morning from Walmart, and this chick was in her car picking up groceries. It was like 8:40 in the morning at the red hybrid, driving in nothing. But this she was in her car, and she had a regular coffee mug, like open top coffee mug handle, in her car driving. I'm like, are you? That's like the definition of chaos. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I legit every single time you post a tweet, it's just like Mytchel Chandler tweeted, and I'm like, huh, again. You can find me on Instagram at Payne Loves Cinema.
Exactly.
And then I think that's it. Yeah.
That is it. And you can stay connected with me, Mytchel Chandler, by simply following me on Facebook and Instagram at author Mytchel Chandler, on Twitter at Mytchel Chandler, on Letterboxd at Payne. Well, sorry, Jesus.
Yeah,
and Letterboxd at Mitch Reviews.
Yeah.
And Letterboxd at Mitch Reviews. And remember, Payne is spelled Payne, and Mitch is spelled Mytch. And that is all for this week, our fellow cinephiles. And until next time,
Excelsior!